Good morning, everyone. So I'd like to welcome all of you, all the participants, guests, audience in the room. I see that it's pretty full saloon. I appreciate about that. I think the way that I would like to start and make a very short speech is that I thought this morning you guys are going to benefit a lot from this panel discussion regarding to increasing the volume of trade between two countries. Because Turkey and Canada, we have already pretty much business partnerships and relations on mining, education, agriculture, and I think we believe that the defense is going to be the next item based on the new geopolitical developments and plus new momentum, which created by the leaders of two countries recently in couple events shortly before, I would say last week or a couple of weeks ago. So I think we have great opportunity to grow the volume of trade, to grow the business between two countries, especially on defense. If you ask why, I think we know that Canada has a lot of expertise on aerospace, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, whereas on the other side, in Turkey, we had a lot of mileage on unmanned aerial vehicles, autonomous systems, and so that could probably be best option for matchmaking and diversifying the options for both countries. Again, based on new recent geopolitical developments. So there are always choices. We believe that Canada could be a good choice for Turkey. Turkey would be a good choice for Canada to develop the business and relations on defense. If you look at the volume of trade, it's not enough for us, $3 billion. As DEİK, we believe that we should be increasing this one up to 5 billion, maybe 7, 8, why not? All we need to do is we believe it, and then we try to make our best efforts to increase this up to the levels that we are aiming to grow it. So I think I'm not going to be making any longer, and on that sense, I would like to turn it over to Ambassador Can Dizdar, Turkish ambassador to Canada, to Can Dizdar, and I would like to welcome you once more, and thanks for being here. And also I'd like to thank to the people to put the best effort to make this event happen. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. I've been here in Canada as ambassador for the last 15 months. Since my arrival, our priority has been to add some strategic dimensions to the fabric of our relations so that the Turkish-Canadian relations could be stronger and more resilient. In the meantime, the landscape in international relations has also changed. As my country, Turkey, has been located in one of the most turbulent and challenging neighborhoods in the world, we learned long ago that self-sufficiency holds the key to strength and deterrence. That's why we started to diversify decades ago and to invest in our defense sector heavily. Today, our export market is one of the most diverse ones. Although in defense products, our markets are mainly NATO allies, we have been able to cooperate with other friendly countries around the world too. Our global market share in drones is currently 67%. Almost all have proven their capability in combat zones. We have 96 shipyards. 33 of them are building our own indigenous military vessels simultaneously. One of them is an aircraft carrier. The remaining shipyards are busy producing icebreakers, tugboats, and other commercial vessels. We are producing our own main battle tanks, not only trainer jets, but also fifth-generation fighter jets, comprehensive missile defense systems, vast spectrum of warships, and so on. The current number of companies in Turkey on defense sector is over 4,000, and this number keeps increasing. The total number of workforce in defense sector is above 100,000 employees. The average age of them is 33. All of these give us a highly prominent position in the global league table. Today we have a good representation from Turkish defense companies. They will talk, of course, a bit of themselves, but mainly on the opportunities. We have a lot to share. We have a lot to do together. I'm not talking only about bilateral trade. I also talk about joining our forces, establishing joint ventures, targeting third markets together. I'm talking about creating employment by establishing production facilities, be it on ammunition or trainer jets or on more advanced technologies. With the kind of potential we jointly have, the sky is the limit, and I believe we must aim high. While seizing such opportunities will be highly rewarding in today's world of uncharted waters, wasting them would be utterly unaffordable. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, and dear audience. I think it's the time to start our panel discussion. And I'm going to invite the moderator of the panel. He is the board member of DEİK, Turkish Canadian Business Council, and also he is the chairman of SASAD. SASAD is Turkish Defense and Aerospace Industrial Association. Mr. Osman Okyay.
Good morning, all. Okay, it's my privilege to invite today's panelists. First, I would like to start with Mr. Semih Demirtoka. He is representing Havelsan, company of Turkey. Welcome, Semih Bey. And Mr. Ali Serdar Kılınç, representing Aselsan. Welcome. And Mr. Alper Güneri, he's the Deputy General Manager of Roketsan company. And I'll take my seat also, and we'll start our panel. So I would like to start by thanking our esteemed ambassador for his remarks on Turkey-Canada business relations. And it's a great pleasure to welcome you all today here. And let me start by introducing myself very quickly. My name is Osman Okyay. I'm the Turkey-Canada board member, Business Council board member, and I also chair Turkey's Defense and Aerospace Industry Association. Turkey's Defense and Aerospace is, it has more than 3,000 companies actively working and more than 10,000 suppliers. And today there are more than 1,000 programs running at the same time in parallel. So Turkey's defense and aerospace industry has come a long way over the last 20 years. So I'm also a vice chairman of Kale Group of companies, and Kale Group is an industrial conglomerate, and part of our business is in defense and aerospace. We build turbojet engines, electromechanical actuators, and small arms, and we also build parts and components for world's largest OEMs, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and so forth. Today's theme is shaping the future of security and defense in an evolving global landscape, which is deeply relevant in the contemporary conjuncture. The transatlantic alliance is going through a major redefinition. Technology, security, and industry has never been this close. It is a strategic space that requires an ecosystem-level focus, and I believe that both Turkey and Canada have important roles to play in this transformation. Turkey, over the past 2 decades, has been building a dynamic and self-reliant defense ecosystem. UAVs, missile and rocket systems, propulsion technologies, electronics, advanced manufacturing, as well as many others. These achievements have strengthened our national capabilities as well as NATO's collective resilience, especially in a region characterized by instability. Canada, on the other hand, brings world-class expertise in aerospace, AI integration, cyber resilience, and Arctic security. Together, we have the potential to create a stronger transatlantic bridge, one that combines technological innovation with industrial cooperation and strategic autonomy with alliance cohesion. At this point, I'd like to bring our esteemed panelists to your attention. We are fortunate today to have with us 3 distinguished voices, as I already introduced them to you. Mr. Alper Güneri, representing Roketsan company. Roketsan is a rocket and missile manufacturer of Turkey, and they also have space programs. Aselsan is represented by Mr. Ali Kılınç. He is the Director of Business Development and Marketing at Aselsan, and Aselsan is Turkey's largest defense firm and also defense electronics firm as well, known for its advanced solutions in communication, radar, electronic warfare, and command and control systems. And finally, Mr. Semih Demirtoka. He is the Business Development Director at Havelsan, one of Turkey's defense giants, working at the intersection of defense and information technologies with a focus on C4ISR, naval combat systems, intelligence systems, as well as other applications critical for Turkey's and our allies' security architecture. We'll explore together how these ecosystems can collaborate to build a shared, resilient transatlantic future. With that, I'd like to begin our discussion with and first I would like to invite Mr. Alper Güneri from Roketsan to share his perspective. And my question to Alper Bey, as you know, Turkey has faced some of the most complex security dynamics in NATO's neighborhood, from counterterrorism to hybrid warfare. Roketsan have been at the forefront of developing indigenous capabilities in response to such events. How have these experiences shaped Turkey's understanding of deterrence and strategic autonomy? And what lessons could this offer to allies seeking greater operational flexibility in their own defense planning? Alper.
Thank you very much. Actually, over past decades, Turkey has stood at the front line of some of the NATO's most complex security challenges: counterterrorism, regional problems. At the end, it's a hybrid warfare. For our defense sector, this is a part of our life. We immediately respond all these challenges. We have to deploy the system as quick as possible. And at the end, we are reach a state that I can define as a constant state of readiness, actually. What emerged from this experience is not just a strong military posture, but a production-driven defense ecosystem, one that connects design, manufacturing, operational feedback into the single and adaptive loop. We deploy our systems, we get feedback from the users, and with that iterative procedures, we get an important achievement, I believe. Maybe I can just very shortly inform you about my company at that stage. My company was established back on '88. It was an alliance program, Euro-Stinger program. And since then, we start deploying, designing, and developing indigenous national systems for our local customer, Turkish MOD, and also our international customer. Current product portfolio covers tactical systems, air defense, naval and land warfare, and all related technology and services within the scope of all these systems. Now, Roketsan has been listed among the Defense News Top 100 since a couple of years. And I think most importantly, 40% of our total sales coming from the export, which I believe a clear reflection of our global competitiveness. The companies like Roketsan in Turkey or Aselsan, Havelsan, we are the backbone of Turkish defense achievements. And by extension, it deterrence and strategical autonomy, actually. Around these anchors, we have built a capable supply chain ecosystems, many R&D centers and universities, and our second tier, third tier supply chains. Together, we built this system. This structure ensures that when a new requirement appears in the field, it can be translated into a solution quickly. This agility has now become a part of Turkey's strategical identity, I believe. The ability to detect, decide, and rapidly support our customer, our national customer, first of all, of course. The nation truly deters when it can not only deploy a system, but produce it, sustain and evolve it continuously. In that sense, industrial capacity of Turkish defense industry is the strategical resilience. The second important part, I believe, is that the production. Production is one of the key discussion, I believe, all around the world as an important problem. This is why Turkey can field new systems quickly, keep them cost-effective, and adopt them and export them all around the world. I think another keyword here is production itself. I mean, today defense environment, the production capacity translates directly into a deterrence. We must produce in numbers, in high numbers. So what we are trying to do is actually arrange our investments and make that investment to support our ecosystem to produce and deploy rapidly. This is another important aspect we are working on. Another pillar is, I believe, is that our strategical management and decision excellence. That's also something I would like to address here. This is the top-down process, starting from our government and all organization in that field, including the Ministry of Turkish National Defense and also SSB. These are support our activities in detail, and we can call this a management excellence, in other words. And finally, I would like to emphasize that deterrence is no longer just a military concept. What we have achieved here in Roketsan and more broadly in Turkey is a redefinition of the entire ecosystems, where deterrence is also industrial and technological. We have showed on that when design, production, and strategy are synchronized and in confidence, that's helped us to solve our problems in our region. And if we can work together, we can build together, that will, I believe, secure our future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Güneri. And from your speech, I take a few notes. In Turkey, in Turkish defense and aerospace industry, we build wide span of products for deterrence in a very quickly manner. That's what makes Turkey defense and aerospace industry stand out for. So thank you very much again. So now I turn to Mr. Kılınç. Mr. Kılınç, Turkey's defense industry has also become known for its agility in digital systems, especially in command control and electronic warfare capabilities that now operate seamlessly across domains. From Aselsan's perspective, how can these advances contribute to NATO's next generation interoperability goals? What kind of digital or data infrastructure is still needed to strengthen cooperation with allied industries like those in Canada?
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Actually, what we see is the war is changing. The world is changing and the war is changing. Especially for NATO, it started with Afghanistan. It was MEMPETs, one-to-one engagements. Then Libya came, and NATO again worked against RF threats as well, but they were not connected, so it was okay. Then Syria came, and in Syria, NATO could not respond because everything was connected. All the air defense systems were connected in Syria, the Russian air defense systems. So you are not able to do one-on-one engagements anymore, and we have been discussing this at NATO a lot. So on our side, everything shall be connected as well. So we started to talk about multi-domain operations, electromagnetic spectrum operations. Actually, my background is on electronic warfare. I worked for 21 years in electronic warfare domain, started as systems engineer, project manager for Kaan Aircraft, and also as the electronic warfare programs director. I was very much involved in what was going on there. So when you talk about air defense systems integrated, electronic warfare systems or combat management systems on your side has to be integrated as well. So that started maybe 15 years ago. We were doing standalone systems. All the NATO countries were doing standalone systems, but then the command control has come into the picture. Now it's even C5, the cyber is added there. And within this mindset, whatever we develop, as Aselsan, Roketsan, Havelsan, it doesn't matter. They all have to be connected to the command and control structures, actually. Everything can be managed from the capital or the crisis center near the border. It doesn't matter. But any equipment, sometimes it's a $500 million airborne standoff jammer or $50,000 jammer at the very edge of the front line. So we had to connect anything we developed within these systems. And why, actually? Because the war changed, and also there are layers of air defense systems, but now there is also the drone threat. I mean, we were talking about fighters, helicopters, or missiles before, but we see now with, I mean, the world sees with the Ukraine war, but for Turkey, the drone threat was there for at least 10 years before the Ukraine war, actually. And within those threats, we are also seeing something different. In Poland, a couple of weeks ago, there were 16 Shahid threats, with 11 of them eliminated with each of them $3 million missiles against $10,000 UAVs. Yes, you can do that for 11 of them, or 16 of them. That's feasible, that's sustainable maybe. But in Kiev, every night, 500 Shahids are coming. So it means that you need to find sustainable solutions. It's not about having the best missile system with you, but you have a layered architecture. What Turkey developed within the last years especially is Steel Dome. Maybe I can give just some brief information about that. It is not the steel version of Iron Dome. Iron Dome is the very short-range level of Israel. There is David Sling, there is Arrow Tree, etc. But Steel Dome is something which is based on the backbone connection, actually. Everything is connected because we have a lot of different threats now, and for the sustainability purpose, the threat evaluation weapon assignment algorithms has to be modified as well. So we mix a layer of sensors and layer of effectors, actually, to find the most sustainable solution against any type of threat. So what we call is multi-sensor, multi-effector, multi-domain, multidisciplinary integration on the Steel Dome. And within this, then you can fire $3,000 smart ammunitions against $10,000 UAVs, or you can fire still missiles, air defense missiles, to the other systems. But this is the architecture where NATO is going there as well. That's why this year we had the privilege of being selected by NATO for the 5 companies to work on modular ground-based air defense architecture of NATO. That's Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Thales, Airbus, and Aselsan. Because we are very much experienced in this area, we are now providing our support to NATO future GBET architecture. And this is actually happening by the help of our integration efforts with NATO. As the second part of the question, I can mention that the #1 requirement in Turkey for any defense electronics program or defense program, it has to be NATO compatible. It's the #1 requirement. All the interfaces has to be NATO integrated. And we qualified it with our end user, but that's not enough, never enough for our end user. We go to NATO trials. Civics is the trial for air defense system integration. Just this June, we have shown that our long-range missile system, air defense system, SIPER, is interoperable with NATO. Last years, we have shown HISAR, the medium-range, and very short-range Korkut systems. They are all integrated, and that's demonstrated at NATO. Even for the EW, there are C4 trials of NATO that it shows that we can work together. And it brings us a good point, actually, from Canada's perspective and Turkey's perspective. You have the NATO infrastructure as well. If you didn't tweak a lot, let's say, they call it tweaking, actually, but it's bending the NATO Stanak rules. We joke about that in NATO a lot. Everything is plug and play then. So we also see in Qatar that depending on a single country for all your defense needs, especially for Canada, we can think about the US-based solutions. You need diversification. And within this diversification effort, with the production capacity that we have developed within the last years, all the major systems, everyday combat-proven systems we have, which is only a few countries in NATO had the chance maybe to deal with S-300, S-400 in the field. We had to develop a lot of stuff for EW stuff for the UAVs, RPES, remotely piloted airborne systems, etc. So the solutions are ready in Turkey. And Canada needs diversification, but of course you need to do something yourself as well. I mean, self-reliance is very important. And within this area, the good thing is Turkey is open to share its technologies. So we are performing transfer of technology programs, transfer of production programs, or co-development programs. There are very good companies in Canada, especially in aerospace and also aircraft industry like Bombardier, etc. You have a lot of platform manufacturers that we can work together. And we can bring...
Mr. Kılınç, I'll come back to the Turkey-Canada cooperation. So
yeah, I'll come to that point later on. Just to mention, within all these efforts to continue between Turkey and Canada and or NATO perspective, the good thing is all the systems are connected in Turkey. They are connected through NATO interfaces. So we are going to have really less to invest in the interoperability issues. We already work together, fight together with Canada in NATO trials, and we can expand that capabilities altogether. That's what I would mention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My third question, actually, and thank you very much for emphasizing on cost effectiveness, connectivity, and interoperability. You know, these are the keywords of the today's defense world, I must admit. So my first question to Mr. Demirtoka, representing Havelsan. Given the Turkish defense industry's growing role within NATO alliance, which places increasing emphasis on multi-domain operations as a strategic priority, spanning land, sea, air, space, and cyber, how is Havelsan adapting its C4 ISR and simulation technologies to enable seamless integration across these domains? And how, and from Havelsan's perspective, how do you see the role of digital twin and AI-based decision support evolving in this concept? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, distinguished colleagues and partners. Thank you for this opportunity to discuss this multi-domain operations subject that is at the very center of modern alliance, basically. First of all, let me briefly tell you about the company, my company, Havelsan, that I'm representing today. We are a top leading defense technology company of Turkiye, and we were founded, established in 1982, wholly owned by Turkish Armed Forces Foundation. We are not a platform manufacturers, like basically, no, here we have another 15-20 minutes. So I want you to remember my company as much as I'm gonna explain in keywords. Basically, we are not a platform manufacturer. We are a systems integrator that makes all these platforms, sensors, radars, sonars, command centers to work with each other, to talk to each other, basically. We are the systems integrator, and that's our philosophy. We have other products as well, but since I have limited time, I'm gonna concentrate on this mostly, since that is also the main topic of the today. In that way, all these systems can work as one fighting unit, basically. We have 4 core competency areas at Havelsan. Number 1 is command control technologies, core competency. The second one is simulation and autonomous systems. Third one is information and communication technologies. That is more government, civilian side of ours. And also, last but not least, homeland and cybersecurity solutions, where we do border security, critical pipeline security, critical facility security kind of solutions that we provide, basically. So we don't build the ship, but we make the ship fight as part of a network, basically. That's you can remember us in that way. We are the glue, we are the nervous system, all of these systems. So from artillery fire control, naval combat management systems, to UAVs, USVs, UGVs, teaming, basically, we connect them to all each other. So we all know what multi-domain operation, but just in one sentence, coordinating effects across land, sea, air, space, and cyber, and basically actions in one domain, creating leverage on all domains, basically. That's what multi-domain operations. You can do faster decisions with the help of MDO, better targeting. You can overwhelm the enemy faster. I mean, war of attritions, like, you know, those are the worst wars ever in the history. So you don't want war of attrition. You want a swift victory, basically. So you can overwhelm the enemy with the help of MDO, higher survivability and efficiency. Now, the core problem back in good old days, you know, our older C4ISR was built when each domain mostly worked in itself, in its own domain. Navy with its own CMS, Air Force with C2, and Army on separate tactical networks, not talking to each other. They are doing their own business, basically. But now it all changed because my colleagues here from Roketsan, Aselsan, you know, they have all these nice systems, basically. Like I can do an abstraction of a use case. A real use case is basically a missile threat can start from space domain and then push through the air defense networks. Like right now, it's all resonating with all of us, basically. And then naval surface air missiles can engage. Okay, so space detection, but then naval SAMs, basically engaging to the threat. So that is the abstraction of a real use case scenario. So let me go back to Havelsan. So our C4ISR architecture is on open standards, and in a few minutes I'm gonna give you examples where we do collaboration with NATO. I'm gonna be, but first let me give you a brief explanation. Our C4ISR architecture is on open standards and service-oriented principles. I don't know how many of you here, like pure IT related, but I'm kind of, my background, I'm IT related as well. So this service oriented is like microservice architecture in software development, which basically gave us all the products after 2010 that we are using and enjoying right now. So basically, that needs to come to our technology. That openness with security needs to come, and that's why right now modular open system architecture, service open system architecture kind of philosophies are now being tested and developed right now, actually. So our Advanced Combat Management System as the operational core of Turkish naval platform, it's not a proprietary closed system, but it has a federated architecture. And basically, when a Turkish frigate operates in a NATO task force, its combat management system, CMS, must seamlessly share track data, coordinate engagement zones, and receive targeting information between the allied forces, basically, seamlessly and in an instant. It needs to do that. And there's this NFFI, NATO's Friendly Force Information Systems, ensuring Turkish land forces can plug into allied operational networks during joint exercises and operations. So during these exercises, they are testing this interoperability and collaboration. That way, God forbid, if something happens, you don't have to wait for systems to go up. As Mr. Ali Kılınç explained, we also, as Havelsan, participated at NATO's Civics 2025 exercises, and 6 of Havelsan's capabilities basically passed NATO's interoperability, assurance verification and validation, AVV tests, and Federation mission networking tests, basically. And also, just this year in February 2025, in a city called Eskişehir in Turkey, Turkish Air Force Eskişehir Air Base, we had NATO commanders there to see our interoperability capabilities. And also we participated in the Industrial Day event at NATO Aircom in Ramstein, also showed all these capabilities because commanders, they need to talk to each other. They need to share with them the recent threats and what might come up, and then to see if the systems are up for the challenge, basically. And also, I'm just gonna be closing up. And also the last part of the question was digital twin and AI. I was listening a podcast like when I was coming back here. If I'm not mistaken, the growth of United States this year, if you take AI data centers apart aside, only 0.1%. So like this year, 2025, US is basically, investing all this money to the AI data centers, basically putting all the stakes. So I'm gonna come back to digital twin and AI. Basically, I don't wanna seem too futuristic, but it's gonna be like AI wars or algorithm wars or whatever, like something like that. So at some point, it's definitely beyond our human capacity to comprehend what is going on with all these sensors, with all these events. But these investments need to be made, and also to be cost effective and efficient, these systems need to talk to each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Demirtoka, and thank you for, again, bringing forward the importance of connectivity among land, sea, and air, and cyber domains, not only in Turkish Armed Forces, but also all, throughout the NATO armed forces. My final question to each of you actually will be the same, and I really would like you to comment with hopefully with 1 or 2 sentences, because we are running out of time. We need to leave some time for the questions in the room. Turkey's defense evolution shows how much can change within 1 generation. It shows how alliance adaptation could look like in the years ahead. Canada, on the other hand, is also reshaping its role within the current conjuncture. With a focus on innovation and transatlantic defense, let me ask each of you for one final thought. What is the next realistic step to turn to the Turkish-Canadian dialogue into tangible cooperation in the long run in a sustainable way? Before I give you the word, I just share my own experience. We teamed up with a company out of Montreal called Herodetech back in 2004. We are awarded one of the critical subsystems on the F-35 program together, and we served on the SDD phase, system design and development phase, low-rate initial production phase, and into the full-rate production phase as well, together with the same company for decades. So it was a sustainable and long-lasting relationship, and today we are also cooperating in other civil aviation programs with the same company. So that was my experience. So I'm a strong believer of Turkey and Canada present complementary capabilities. So, Mr. Güneri.
Thank you. First of all, I think, yeah, we can complement each other. There are areas, we have already engaged a couple of companies, and they call us and we call us, and we come together and try to come up with some kind of new system solutions. But I believe that's not enough. So we have to know each other better. So that kind of organization, I believe, is a good opportunity for everybody to come together and discuss everything face to face. This is one of the aspects I would like to emphasize. The other part is the involvement of the government discussions. Actually, our leaders has already started these discussions. Just about a month ago, they come together, and we have a good, nice green light now. That's also something we have to pursue. The last one I can add is there's opportunities in Turkey, in Canada. We have local requirements. But I believe when we come together and find a way to cooperate together, there's another important possibility that we can serve for the other markets. So international markets that maybe we can emphasize first, that will help us to find solution easier, I believe.
Thank you. Mr. Kılınç.
Thank you. The time is getting out, so
yes, very quickly.
I would just mention this. We already started to work with some Canadian companies. We know MD Aerospace, L3 Harris, Bombardier, etc. But I kindly invite all the companies in this arena as well, related with defense or civilian use, because we also have dual-use solutions that might be very valuable to invest. We are open for TOT, TOP, co-development, etc. But at the end of the day, we are companies. Aselsan is the most valuable company in stock exchange market. So the companies has to find some profit or future commitment from the governments as well. Not only for, yes, we will work, we are working already for third markets. We have to focus that to increase Canadian GDP as well, Turkish GDP as well. But from Canadian perspective or Turkish perspective, the governments must start talking so that they show us the enough feasibility of an investment in Canada.
Thank you, Mr. Kılınç. Mr.
Quickly, basically, I was born in 1975. I'm a Generation X, and mostly I can see close to my age. We are all going through cycles. Like remember the end of 80s, 90s. Berlin Wall collapsing, Fukuyama, the end of history, end of civilization. There were not going to be any more wars, physical wars. It was just going to be economic wars, right? That was what we were told, what we were promised. Well, that wasn't the case. Actually, my friend told me a nice quote, like, basically the exception is peace. Peace is exception. I mean, wars are always gonna be there. It's just the cycles. And look what's been happening in the last 5 years, 10 years. Okay, so we basically moved our spot on that cycle again. Look at the speeches, keywords that are othered. Basically, keywords are changing, the tone is changing, the tone of the voice is changing. So basically, your geography is different, our geography is different. Your security concerns, priorities, ours are different. But at the end of the day, obviously, it's above my pay grade. But the political decisions and strategies are made and then cascaded down to us. And then we basically, as these defense primes here, Turkish defense primes, we basically implement those political strategies. So as you said, both presidents met. So I think we are aligned. So I am inviting you to Ankara at Havelsan facilities. Please come, let's talk. Visit our facilities, see our technologies, then we can start collaborating.
Thank you, Mr. Demirtoka. So, unfortunately, we don't have time left for the questions and answers, but our panelists will be around for a while, and maybe if you have any questions to any of our panelists or myself, we're going to be more than happy to answer them during the recess, during the break. Thank you very much.